Hi, my name is Colin. I'm one of the directors of Opportunities International. Today I would like to introduce you to Edward Miller.
Hi everyone.
Edward Miller is our immigration lawyer and he's a partner of Opportunities International. Edward has been an immigration lawyer for 14 years and he is a part of our team to make sure that you can come to Australia properly and have a good experience legally.
Thank you, Colin.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about what you can do for us?
Well, I would be basically taking over sort of a migration side of the agency, and I would be looking after every single of you who are interested to come to Australia. Obviously, take this opportunity to study in Australia, learn about this great country, and obviously enjoy yourself along the way. Obviously, the education industry in Australia it's humongous, and which offers a lot of opportunities for international students, particularly in sort of a various field studies. For example, starting from learning the language to obtaining the higher qualifications, vocational qualifications. And I know this route sort of not as easy as everybody thinks, coming from overseas to foreign country. But we'll try to make it as smooth as possible for all of you guys, and particularly with the process of visa application. So we've done quite a few of them, and I can assure you that we'll deal with every single student in most diligent and customized and personalized manner. The path to applying for student visa could be quite difficult, and that's the reason why Opportunities International brought us to help all the students as well as the Opportunities International to guide the applicants as well as the agency through this sort of a difficult sort of a visa process to make things much easier for all of you guys and obviously for Opportunities International.
Yeah, so Edward, you telling us that you can help students apply for their student visa when they're coming in, and what can you do once they've graduated?
Well, there's a lot of sort of a path open for international students once they graduate, particularly from vocational institutions or higher education. There are so many visas available for them to remain in Australia lawfully and obviously continue to sort of grow and enjoy their stay in Australia either on temporary basis or permanent. So there are a lot of visas open for them at the end of their graduation, particularly something to do with working. Working visas, particularly very popular in Australia. A lot of students are choosing that path after graduation because once they graduate, they become qualified, and by that time they already have some sort of a working arrangements. And Opportunities International obviously would be helping all their students to finding the relevant work in Australia.
So with the working visa, what level of education do they need to complete before they can apply for that?
It depends on what sort of qualifications they obtain at with the education providers. So if it's a vocational educational sort of institutions, certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas are sufficient. For those ones who were interested to study higher education, university degrees, bachelor degrees or masters, there would be also obviously opportunities to those students to remain in Australia lawfully and obviously obtaining their working rights here.
Okay, so let's say we have someone who's already studied back home and they don't want to come and study, but they want to come and get some industry experience.
All right.
Are you able to help them with getting the right visa for that? Would that be the training visa?
The training visa is one of the visas which is available to any individuals who's coming to Australia and would like to gain in-house sort of a workplace training. This is sort of a very sort of a different to working visa. It's specifically designed for the purpose of being trained after obtaining qualification in Australia. So Opportunities International, I believe, would be able to help the students to find their work placements and the logical way later on after their graduation to apply for so-called training visa, and this visa will allow them to basically be trained at the workplace for maximum up to 2 years.
Okay, so in summary, Edward, you're here to help us process the student visas.
Correct.
If they don't want the student visa, you're here to help us process the training visa.
Mm-hmm.
And then once people have graduated from both of those programs, you're able to help them find a way to stay in Australia and find the right visa for them to apply for.
So usually how sort of the step-by-step process goes. Once those students come into Australia on their student visas, and obviously we'll help them to obtain the student visa, we'll go through all the process with them and obviously apply for their student visa on behalf of them. So that would take a lot of stress away out of the applicants and out of the students. Once they're in Australia and they are obviously starting, and by the time they complete their qualification, we will be setting up meetings with each of those students and discuss their future opportunities, either towards their permanent migration or further stay in Australia with their working visas or training visas or skilled sort of visas would be the most appropriate sort of path for them.
So one of the great things about working with Edward and getting Edward's advice is that his initial advice is included in your package and there's no extra costs for that to start with.
Absolutely. All our students receive this sort of advice free of charge, and what is good about it is the students will clearly would know what their future sort of opportunities and where they would what those opportunities will lead to, and it's also very important to point what is the end goal, why the students are coming. Obviously they come in to obtain an Australian education, and obviously they want to know where they could use that education in the future. And this is the reason why we sort of are talking about training visas and working visas, because those sort of Australian qualifications will help them to obtain further stay in Australia, either permanent or further stay in temporary basis.
All right, thank you very much, Edward.
You're welcome.